Guys, there was a scandal that broke. I posted about it on Twitter the other night. Sorry, Twix the other night. A PR firm called Bunker 15 has been caught paying for positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. People are like, oh my God, Rotten Tomatoes is compromised, to which anybody with half a brain and understands that the theaters were empty during Captain Marvel say, duh. Everyone
do we
knew that.
know who the PR firm represents? That would be important for knowing like which movies got fake positive reviews.
So the one that I saw referenced was a movie called Ophelia, which I never saw. But the point is like everyone's known that Rotten Tomatoes has been.
It's definitely not just this one.
No, not at all. And everyone knows that you don't even need to buy these people off.
If I were a movie critic, I would take the money.
$50 though?
$50?
50
I have no integrity.
All right.
I would take a bribe.
She's like
I loved Dial of Destiny.
It was fantastic. Are you kidding me?
I cried.
I love the way the androgynous ugly woman interacted with the old guy. It was
I loved
great.
her critiques of capitalism.
Oh my
So
gosh, it was
sophisticated.
fantastic. It was so good. $50 to sell out. If I was like, look, guys.
Movie critics, it's hard out here.
Look.
They're freelancers.
It's going to cost you at least $55 if you want to get me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it for
extra
$50. I've got principles. If you want me to say that that the next Marvel movie is good, you're going to have to pay up if you want that. That's what it's going to be.
Rotten Tomatoes responded and said, "We take the integrity of our scores seriously and do not tolerate any attempts to manipulate them. We have a dedicated team who monitors our platforms regularly and thoroughly investigates resolving any suspicious activity." Apparently not.
But they also
being
did,
paid $50 an hour.
they also do the thing where like they hide all the reviews and only show approved critics.
yeah.
So you go and look at these positive and negative scores, and suddenly the very high rating goes down once you get rid of the approved critics score, right? You can't. It's so funny because similar to. It's weird how Gamergate became this start of a cultural moment here in America. And it's so weird to see movie reviews become this battleground for what is considered the aspects of the culture war here in the country. Like something you'd think didn't matter, something you'd think wasn't important. I don't know anyone who uses Rotten Tomatoes before going to see a movie. Not a soul.
If I do, I look at the user, not the critics score. Like I
mean, I don't even do that anymore.
I trust the guy on the street more. I'll look on YouTube sometimes, and again, that's probably why they're doing this more. Is they're having to combat other social media's reviews. You know,
what I found is everyone's so entrenched now that. Even the movies that like I've liked, the movies that I disliked, they generally have pretty good audience scores because the only people going to see them are like only people willing to make a review are ones who wanted to see it anyways.
Right.
So you're not getting like now if it's something that's politically inclined, like it's a Dave Chappelle special, then you see this disparate reaction between audience and critics. But I don't find either score to be reliable because if you're a fan of Transformers movies and you go to see the Transformers movie, you're probably going to leave it a positive review if you care enough to leave a review. I think the system as a whole is broken both on the fan side and on the critic side.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. A lot more so with all these movies having more and more like a built-in fan base. It becomes very polluted. It's like, well, did it respect the source material? Well, which source material?
Yeah.
You know, the comics, the games, whatever. It's such a weird thing to get a real honest review, and a lot of Hollywood is getting further and further away from just a movie. Like I was thinking the other day, I'm like, is it possible to make another Inception? Like just a brand new idea out of nowhere? Can they do that?
They tried it with Tenet,
right? Yeah,
which I liked, but
another Nolan
liked.
film. I hated Tenet, but and not here nor there. But I mean, Hollywood it's very polluted in that sense that everything is kind of based off of source material now. That I don't know how you would give a good review to a movie like the Mario movie without knowing the Mario stuff, or vice versa, or X-Men movie or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as a normal critic review anymore. Now this story particular though, like it's like I think Hollywood just thinks we're cattle and you can kind of buy some reviews and you're just going to lead us and we're mindless zombies. If you tell us it's good, then it's good. If you tell us it's bad, then it's bad, you know?
And I don't think people buy into that anymore. I think that people have their minds made up. Like, it's kind of like that with trailers now. Like, I'm not really sold, I guess because we have to do it for work. But it's like I didn't see the trailer for Gran Turismo, but apparently the trailer for Gran Turismo was awful.
Yeah.
So people are like, whoever cut this trailer together did no good job for the
Right.
studio. It's just everyone's kind of entrenched in their own stuff now. Nolan movies are going to sell based on the fact that it's a Nolan movie,
Right.
Well,
right?
he has a rapport, yeah.
Yeah, like in most of the rest of it, I just think that the joy is gone. There's $20
Yeah.
in there. Yep.
Christopher said that was an inside joke by a crazy British man of dubious intent. Shane was only trying to explain the joke because lots of us were pressuring him to. In no way does Shane approve of that joke, nor did he come up with it. Sorry.
That was a great disclaimer.
Thank
Yeah.
you for
Right there,
clearing
right-
that up.
I do not take legal advice from Dangerous Dave.
I just like with all of these things, it just feels like more and more that everybody's gone to their corners and everybody has their opinions on what it's like. The critics didn't give a great review to Dial of Destiny. The critics didn't like Dial of Destiny either.
Right.
Like a lot of these, like the critics for the most part, unless it's super politically charged, it seems like they've.
Should movies be politically charged though? I mean,
I mean, like the promotion of it. Like,
Oh, yeah,
think
yeah.
Joker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
Right.
like that's the best thing you can do now. Sound of Freedom, Joker. Just piss the media off. Piss the media off. They'll write hit pieces about it, and then everybody will go see it.
Start talking about adrenochrome.
Yeah, like or
Promote the movie on InfoWars.
say it's an incel project, like the first Joker movie. Like, do you think that the second Joker movie is going to do as good as the first one?
No.
Now that the media is
Representation
all up on
matters
its
even for
nuts?
incels.
Yeah, like now that the media is all up on it, and I actually like if they make Joker 2 in the fashion that I hope they do, I actually have high hopes for it. The idea being that I want all of the musical scenes to be violent, extremely gory violence is happening on screen. But I don't think that they're going to nail it, even with
No.
even
Do you
with
think
Todd
it's going
Phillips
to
coming
be
back.
a girl boss Lady Gaga Harley Quinn movie?
I don't think so. I think it'll end up somewhere closer to the middle. But it'll be interesting to see. But it doesn't have any of that ambiance and hype that came from... There was cops at the movie theaters making sure that incel violence didn't go down.
Well, keep in mind there was that one shooting in that Batman movie.
In 2012.
Yeah, I know, but I could see, but the kid did dye
Yeah.
his hair like green and stuff. There was a reason for that a little bit.
It's just... But they were whipped up into a frenzy. My dad went to see Joker because of all the hype that came through it. There's a very big super chat there from Alpha Suma.
Keep your chin up, Shane.
And...
He's keeping it up.
There it is. And thank you, Alpha Shuma. Thank you. Suma. So yeah, like it's
you.
just I just don't see how in America we have so little to worry about that the cultural discussion has been about like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Marvel and what it means for society. Now we're talking about what the Marvels getting pushed. They're trying to get the Marvels out of here as quickly as possible
Yeah.
because nobody wants to see it because nobody's interested in it. And I just wonder every day how we got here.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of assumptions that you'll buy anything Marvel, and comics in the comic industry, it was always called Marvel zombies. That meaning that Marvel fans are just zombies and they'll buy anything Marvel prints. That used to be true. A lot of that stuff has translated to their media, and they just assume like whether it's the Miss Marvel TV show or whatever, you're just
Which
gonna
nobody
watch it.
watched.
Nobody watched.
And they tried to put it on ABC and nobody watched it.
And here's a movie with her in it that again you made before you even knew if anybody would care about the show. Like
Yeah.
I mean, they're really got ahead of themselves, and it's super strange, dude. It's super strange.
Yeah. And I just don't know if it and DC doesn't envelop the same like fan base, not in the same way. DC has fallen so far
Yeah.
in the movies, like it's actually depressing. As somebody who enjoyed the director's cut of Batman vs Superman, even though I don't find it to be particularly accurate.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like
Yeah.
in a world where Marvel was making nothing but slapstick garbage, I enjoyed watching somebody take something serious, even if it was too serious.
Right.
Like,
right.
and I would like to see, maybe not more of that, but we could go towards independent stuff. Remember what was the one with Samaritan on Amazon Prime with?
It wasn't that good of
But
a
I'm saying,
movie.
but we could go that direction and just do smaller things. and have less money on it, and maybe there's less cultural pushback.
Well, there's less expectations going into those things if it's a new idea too. You're gonna, but that's what they want. They want like that cultural hook.
Yeah.
You know, they want to pull people in with debate or politics, or is the character too dark or moody? Here's Snyder's unique stamp on the Batmobile, which is a tank now. You know, I mean, he had such an influence that they actually forced in that last Batman Arkham game that tank into the game just because what he was doing. I mean, there's a lot of craziness that goes behind all this stuff with movies. It's really strange where we're at in the pop culture.
What is in your opinion, what is the best comic book movie adaptation?
Oh, I mean, but we were talking about it, and that's maybe why it's coming up as The Crow. Like, I've read the comic. It's not exact, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yep. And I like, my hottest take is that I think Batman Begins is the best of the Nolan trilogy. I still prefer Batman Begins.
I'm totally with you on that one.
Batman Begins is clearly the best. I understanding that, like, look, The Dark Knight was a cultural moment for this country because of what happened to Heath Ledger, but it's essentially a crime. It's essentially like a crime film. It's a crime drama,
right?
More than it is a superhero movie. Whereas Batman Begins used they actually made Gotham unique, whereas since then it all just looks like Chicago or New York now, whereas Gotham had a unique look in that film.
Yes,
which it no longer has.
What do you mean by that?
What they did is
it was a lot of gold and auburn,
orangish hues, gaudy colored color correction, and they did a lot of Gaussian work on the buildings to make it look artwork more than it did buildings.
Yeah, and they had a lot of like cables and wires, and it looked very comic book. Again, like when he first came into that, he did go up to DC Comics one day with David Goyer and just go through a lot of Batman books, and they pulled a lot of reference from like Batman Year One with Frank Miller.
Thank you.
And everyone knows that DC does better at animated movies anyways.
Right.
Way better.
It's party time.
DC animated is, I mean, not anymore, but DC animated used to be far superior anyways. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.